Shop knows small towns. It's where our values are rooted. We treat our people right, and in turn, they treat you, our customer, right. And we give back to our communities. Not much more small town than that. Eustace Body Shop, small town service, big city technology.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Lincoln Federal Savings Bank. Personal banking like you remember.
Hi, this is Chris Elgert, loan originator at Lincoln Federal. I know that buying a home is one of the most important decisions a person will make in their lifetime. That's why you need an experienced loan professional to explain all the options available, to answer all your questions, and to make the home buying process a rewarding experience. Talk with me and discover why Lincoln Federal is personal banking like you remember. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
This is a presentation of the Nebraska State High School Basketball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. State basketball broadcasts are presented by NextAg Appraisal and Realty, Sandhills Global, Doane University, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Wingstop, Acres, High Electric, Eustace Body Shop, Nebraska Hematology Oncology, Lincoln Federal Savings Bank, Roofing Service Company, Union Bank and Trust, Lincoln Family Chiropractic, and DOT Highway Safety Office, Jimmy John's, Members Owned Credit Union, Nebraska Army National Guard, Hamilton Telecommunications, and the Nebraska High School Sports Hall of Fame. Now calling all the action from Pinnacle Bank Arena, here's Nick Sainert.
Welcome into the final two games of Semifinal Friday in front of a packed crowd at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Nick Sainert alongside the Husker Hall of Famer Eric Strickland. Stricky, we're back after the insane, wild, incredible day we had on Thursday, and here we are on Semifinal Friday, my friend.
Yeah, we're back at it. We're definitely here to watch a team in Skutt who has had a tremendous success in just a winning pedigree.
Yeah.
Once again, trying to flex their muscle. Had a rough one last night, a tough game. We saw what happened on last night.
Yeah.
Norris able to advance with 77 feet of ball flight straight into the net. And so now we're going to see if they're going to be able to reduplicate the effort as well as the success that they had on last night because it was working in their favor.
Well, I think Norris has to do more than they did yesterday.
No doubt.
I think Norris needs to be better than they were yesterday because they're facing a different animal. Omaha Skutt is not Lincoln Pius X. They are better. They are more seasoned. They are more familiar with this layout, with this part of the tournament as well. That Omaha Skutt had a very comfortable 71-31 win against DC West yesterday, and they're here trying to go back-to-back.
Well, they're rested. I mean, you got to think about it. The majority of their team got some good rhythm. They got out, got a chance to run a little bit, but they also got to rest a little bit. So they're very, very they have a lot of energy they should be able to expend tonight. And listen, Norris struggled shooting last night.
Yeah.
And they packed it in. Gretnays did. And so we're going to see what strategy that Skutt implements against Norris today.
Yeah.
Norris isn't going to have the advantage that they had in attacking the rebounds, but if they execute well, they may be able to put a little bit of strain and get after them defensively the way that they did yesterday.
When these two teams played a couple of weeks ago, Skutt Catholic beat Norris 63-51 as well. So Norris Titans, we know it, 25-2 coming into this one. They had the incredible shot by Barrett Bozinger that went in from the opponent's three-point line, 77 feet officially after measurement that knocked off Lincoln Pius X. Norris, they, like I mentioned, 25-2, trying to look for their first state championship since 2003. They were in the final last year, while Omaha Skutt Catholic knocked off Norris in the state championship game last year. So this is a rematch of last year's final. For the Norris Titans, same starting five as yesterday. Barrett Bozinger, Alex Small, Chris Gardner, Evan Greenfield, and Jarrett Behrens. For Omaha Skutt Catholic, 22-5 on the year, led by head coach Kyle Juergens, not just looking to go back-to-back, they're looking to go back-to-back-to-back. They're looking for their fourth state championship since 2020 as well. They were runner-up in 2022. They've been involved in the final a plethora of times, and it's because of their big two guys down low, Brock Scholl and George Zeeble. They also start Eddie Linderman, Dylan Van Dyke, and Kyle Cannon out there for head coach Kyle Juergens. We're about ready to get going here. As once again, when you look
Skutt
at
is trying real quick.
that's
Nick.
fine.
Skutt is trying to become, to me, the new Wahoo.
Very, very good
Very
comparison.
much, right?
Yeah, very much so. When you look at Omaha Skutt Catholic too, you look at guys like Brock Scholl, George Zeeble, Brock Scholl especially, 6'9" senior, 17.5 points per game, 8.5 rebounds per contest. However, yesterday they didn't need him against DC West. He had 7 points and 2 rebounds. You look up after a 41-point or a 40-point win, and you go, "Oh, Brock Scholl must have been pretty impactful in that game, especially against a team like Douglas County West." No, 7 points, 2 rebounds. Everybody else except Brock Scholl and George Zeeble did it. Now, tonight's the night where I think we see Brock Scholl really assert some dominance.
There's no doubt about it. And listen, again, he's got fresh legs.
Yeah.
A lot of the penetrating buckets that the Titans were able to get on yesterday is going to be challenged today with the bigs inside the Twin Towers.
All right, here we go. Brock Scholl to tip it off. Chris Gardner for Norris. And Brock Scholl will win the tip as this one now controlled actually by Norris. Alex Small with the basketball, and we are underway here at Pinnacle Bank Arena, Class B semifinal matchup. Nick Sandert, Eric Strickland with you here at PBA. Evan Greenfield with the basketball for Norris, and we have a foul away from the ball, and they're going to call it an offensive foul on Alex Small. And so we had it where Dylan Van Dyke blew up the screen, but instead of calling it on, we'll see the replay here. So instead of calling it on, rather, Kyle Cannon, who blew it up, they called it on Alex Small.
Interesting.
On the right side, here's Dylan Van Dyke. He doubles as the Skutt Catholic quarterback in the fall. Really talented arm as well for Skutt Catholic. Eddie Linderman with the basketball, looking to hand it off, unable to get it to Kyle Cannon, who had himself a nice day yesterday. Kyle Cannon with it, top of the key near the logo. 7:22 to go, first quarter. We're underway here in the Class B semis. And in the lane, Cannon can't get the layup to go. Put back on the way by Dylan Van Dyke, won't fall. And Jarrett Behrens cleans the glass.
Right now, this is what the Titans want to be able to do, is to attack early and often.
Here, top of the key, left side now, Greenfield in the far corner. Chris Gardner with it. Chris Gardner Jr. working in, kicks it. Behrens 3-ball. He missed it off to the right, no good. And it's going to be hauled in by Kyle Cannon defensively.
He hit a few yesterday, but got off to a slow start right now. We'll see if it picks up.
Cannon on the left side now with it is Eddie Linderman. Linderman in the lane. The floater, it's good. Too easy for Eddie Linderman.
Yeah, easy rip-through drive there with a little floater. Good start for Linderman.
Here's Alex Small looking around, and we have a whistle and a traveling violation on Alex Small as he got into the lane, got trapped, and wasn't able to pass it out quick enough.
I can't say that this is nerves to start off. It's just great defense in the inside, forcing him to have to do something he didn't want to do.
So here we go, 6:37 to go in the first quarter. It's 2-0 Omaha Skutt. Norris, the number 1 seed in Class B. Skutt Catholic by seeding is number 4. As on the right side, it's Kyle Cannon. He's guarded by Bozinger, who's been probably the most popular high school athlete in the country the last 24 hours. Here on the left side, Dylan Van Dyke working on Behrens. Van Dyke, spin move at the elbow, looking around on the block, gets into Zeeble. Zeeble tries to go up strong with it, and we're going to have a whistle and a jump ball. Jimmy Motes on the north sideline wanted them to let them play on because Greenfield had that out and running. So 6:08 to go in the first quarter. It's 2-0 Omaha Skutt.
They're going to have to do that a lot tonight. They're going to have to get in there, all bodies, all hands.
And it feels like it's important for Skutt Catholic with those 2 big guys, keep the ball high, get it where nobody else can do it.
Yeah.
And when you put it down low like Zeeble just did, then you're going to have active hands like Greenfield and Small and those other guys in there trying to rip it away.
Yeah, that's what I say. Don't put it down in the trenches where guys like Stricky can go in there and rip it out.
Right. As they inbound it to Dylan Van Dyke, Skutt Catholic leads 2-0. Here on the left side, Kyle Cannon. Down low, Brock Scholl has a significant advantage over Alex Small, and he gets it in to go.
Easy work down there.
Yeah.
Good one move to the counter, raised up above. Nothing to challenge. They don't have the size.
Now here's Gardner in the lane. The floater will not fall. It bounced out, and now Zeeble collects the defensive rebound for Skutt Catholic. They get it up the floor to Eddie Linderman. Linderman with the basketball, spin move, and we have an offensive foul called on George Zeeble. How much of that is on the screener, but also how much of that is on the ball handler?
Definitely, I have to say the ball handler, not
Yeah.
allowing him to get to a set spot, being a little bit too quick in that situation, got him the foul. But at the same time, you want to just understand that, put your hands up, and just kind of stand still.
So Zeeble gets called for the offensive foul on the moving screen. Now it's Barrett Bozinger as we have a foul called on Kyle Cannon. Alex Small.
He didn't like it.
Yeah, look at Kyle Cannon and Alex Small, John back and forth. That's the second time. Earlier in the game, that was what Alex Small was called for the offensive foul.
Yeah.
And now this time on the other side of the floor, it was called a defensive foul, so it worked to Alex Small's advantage.
Well, it looks like the refs are definitely looking for not being set, doing a little bit of extra on the screens.
Point of emphasis
right now.
Evan Greenfield with the basketball on the left side, down 4-0 in the lane. Greenfield puts it up, can't hit the easy two, and Zeeble able to get the defensive rebound.
You got to wonder if that's in their mind as they attack, whether or not the big guys are going to come over and try to get at them.
Yes,
Oh,
now
give me them cookies!
Greenfield picks the pocket up in the lane. It's good.
You want to have a lot of that for the Titans tonight. There
Up
we
the
go.
floor. Here comes Behrens. He steals it again. A little bit of an ill-advised pass. Here's the three for Bozinger. He airballs it. He's used to shooting from 77 feet.
Well, who opened the door on that one? Definitely is a draft win in here.
Yeah, right. As Kyle Cannon brings it across the timeline on the right side in the lane. Cannon can't get it to go. Rebound, fought 4 bodies on the ground. It's going to be won by Cannon. And we have a jump ball that will give it to the Norris Titans.
Oh, that's where you got to be tonight. Norris they've got to feel that they've got to be scrappy. They've got to be scrappy. They've got to get after it. Now it's going to depend on whether or not their depth is able to come in and continue with the pressure and with the intensity.
4-2 is your score. Norris out in front. Or rather, Skutt Catholic is out in front by 2. 4:41 to go in the first quarter. Small and Behrens take a seat for Norris as McCoy Folkerts, who hit the 3 from the logo to tie the game yesterday, is in, as well as Josh Bornschlegel. Here's McCoy Folkerts. He gets it to Chris Gardner Jr. Gardner passes right side to Greenfield. Greenfield to Folkerts. Folkerts into Bornschlegel in the corner. 3 ball, and it's good. Joshua Bornschlegel.
That's good. That's a good start for them. They want to definitely be able to shoot it from the perimeter or open up some things on the inside.
Dylan Van Dyke with the basketball. Skutt Catholic down by 1, 5-4. On the top of the key near the logo, it's Brock Scholl. Scholl working on Gardner. He gets his pocket picked. Greenfield takes it away. Up the floor. What a pass to Bornschlegel with the foul.
There it is. They've got to have a continuation of that all night long. Push, run those big boys. They're fresh right now, but they've got to continue that type of pressure, both on defense and offensively.
7-4 is your score, and we have a Skutt Catholic timeout before the Norris free throw. 4:07 to go in the first quarter. It's 7-4 Norris. 1 free throw coming up for the Titans when we come back in 30 seconds.
You know you want those Wingstop boneless wings. With the boneless meal deal from Wingstop, you get 20 boneless wings in 4 delicious flavors and a large order of hand-cut fries for just $16.99. What are you waiting for? More wings, more flavor, more bang for your buck. The $16.99 boneless meal deal from Wingstop. Order now from wingstop.com. Valid at participating locations for a limited time on orders for pickup or delivery placed via wingstop.com or the Wingstop app. Prices may vary by location. See wingstop.com/offers for full details.
Now back to the 2025 State Basketball Tournament live from Pinnacle Bank Arena on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in. Pinnacle Bank Arena, 7-4 is your score. Omaha Skutt trails by 3. Norris has an and-one opportunity at the free throw line with Josh Bornschlegel. And the free throw is no good. Barely grazes the front rim as it's deflected out of bounds. It'll be Skutt Catholic basketball here with 4:05 to play in the first. 4:05 to go in the first quarter. 7-4 is your score. Norris on top of the Skutt Catholic Skyhawks. This is Heller with it for Skutt Catholic. Lucas Heller, that is. He gets it to Dylan Van Dyke. They run Scholl on a roll. Now Scholl picks up his dribble pass across the perimeter is unable to be completed, and Norris takes it away. Here's Bozinger. Now loose ball once again. Now they get it to Folkerts. Norris survives on the possession. So Folkerts to Greenfield. Greenfield working center of the lane, spin move, spins again over the left shoulder. Can't get it to go. Rebound tipped out. Greenfield's able to corral it. Finds a cutting Gardner on the block. He works to the center of the lane. Out left wing, Bornschlegel. Bornschlegel to Gardner. Gardner now with still 26 seconds on this possession. And we have a foul away from the ball on Lucas Heller of Omaha Skutt.
Two things on that situation there. One, down low, the counter move, you want to have somebody come on that, and it forced him to have to make a decision. It's some things we used to do with Shaq and other people because of the fact that when they turn and to get into their strength, you want to be there so you can force them into a tough pass, and the Titans were able to pick it off.
Here on the near side, it's McCoy Folkerts. Folkerts top of the key, Greenfield. Left side, Bornschlegel. He's trying to hit another one.
Back to back. That's going to open things up for them.
10-4 is now your score. Norris out in front of Skutt Catholic. On the right side, it's Brock Scholl. Scholl to Heller at the elbow. Heller top of the key, Cannon. Cannon left side to, this is Wissink. Wissink with it on the right side. He takes the bump, no whistle, out to Cannon, all the way by the logo. Back to Wissink. Now throws it back to Cannon. 2:45 to go, first quarter. Kyle Cannon with the basketball, 8 seconds on the possession, working on Folkerts. He steps back, gets it poked away, taken away by Bozinger. Bozinger up to Florida Greenfield, and it is safe from going out of bounds. 3-ball Bozinger. It's no good, but the rebound by Gardner and the putback is good.
Yeah, like you said, he's used to seeing it from afar. He's getting a little good looks inside his range, and so he hasn't been able to hit it yet.
Here,
good start for the Titans.
Top of the key it is with Heller. Heller with the basketball, cross court into the near corner. Wissink lost control of the basketball, and it's going to be Norris Titans ball.
It's the pressure right now. It's the pressure. 7 turnovers in the last 3 minutes and 52 seconds. That's crazy.
It's probably not the recipe Kyle Jurgens wants.
That is not the recipe. That's not a winning recipe. Let's just say that for sure. But good for the Titans because that's what they're going to need to do in this game. You got to ratchet up the pressure, keep the tension tight on the because they didn't really play as much.
Yeah.
So this is really their first game with a little pressure.
Here on the right side, it's Greenfield. Greenfield, top of the key, now left side. Cooper Rice into the game. Here in the lane, kicks it out. Rice for 3. That's short. Rebound tipped around as Norris. There's just more effort from the Norris Titans on here. Bornschlegel, another one. He can't connect on that one. And Zeeble collects the rebound, and Gardner gets whistled for the foul.
Gardner has a tendency to do that, but they need him. They can't let him get into foul trouble. That's a bad foul right there out of Gardner.
12-4 is your score. Norris out in front by 8. As Stricky mentioned, in the last 4 minutes of game time, Skutt Catholic with 7 turnovers. That's so unlike this experienced Skutt Catholic squad, but the intensity of maybe a smaller lineup, a guard-heavy lineup, is creating some pressure, some speed that Skutt can't keep up with.
Yeah.
Brock Scholl on the right side gives it to Dylan Van Dyke, that is, guarded by Small. Now to Cannon. Just look at Brock Scholl. Can't get anything going down low. Just going to work on the defender. Still can't get anything open. Zeeble in the lane on Bornschlegel. Over his right hand, no good. The putback, Scholl finally able to get it to go.
Well, that's where they're going to have to dominate there. They want to; those big guys want to go ahead and continue to attack the offensive glass. That's where their advantage is.
Here on the right side, down low, Urbanovsky in the lane, and Norris is able to answer right back.
Quick turnaround. Push the tempo.
That's right. 1:02 to go in the first quarter. 14-6 is your score. Norris out in front by 8. Here on the left side, it's Dylan Van Dyke. Van Dyke right side to Cannon. Cannon now dribbling past McCoy Folkerts in the lane. The layup no good, but Kyle Cannon will go to the line to shoot 2 shots. How about that? Urbanovsky denied the help up by Kyle Cannon from the hardwood.
Yeah. Hey, listen.
He said, I don't want your help.
That's what we do, baby.
I don't want your help.
Listen, we come in here to beat the brakes off of you. We ain't trying to play.
My teammate's coming.
Right.
I don't want your help.
Right.
Kyle Cannon at the line to shoot 2 shots. Cannon, 6'3" senior that averages 9 a game. He's now on the scoreboard with his first point.
Nick, you would think that the Titans would be a little bit tired after that rough go of last night, but hey, they're coming out with a lot of intensity right now.
Cannon with another free throw. It's good. 14-8 is your score. Watch that matchup between Scholl and Urbanovsky. They're getting tangled up quite a bit. John back and forth. Watch that one to continue as Scholl still kind of turning around and talking there. between those two guys. On the right side, it's Cooper Rice. Top of the key, Bornschlegel. Left side, Small. They are not concerned about Small's shooting. Folkerts, they should be concerned about his shooting capabilities. As Folkerts has it top of the key, now Rice. To the right side, it's Alex Small.
Shot clock off.
Shot clock is dark. Thank you, Stricky. And it'll be Alex Small near the logo. 14-8 is your score. 18 seconds to go in the game. Or rather in the first quarter. Goodness sakes, Nick. Are we trying to speed this up? No, I'm not. I promise. A lot of words. On the right side, McCoy Folkerts. On the right side of the lane, the jumper fading away, no good. Zeeble collects the miss. Up the floor, Eddie Linderman from half court. He threw it off. He had over 2 seconds to still go towards the perimeter. And he chucked it up from half court, missed it off to the left. And that's your score at the end of the first quarter. 14-8, Norris on top of Skutt. We'll step aside, come back in 60 seconds.
Your possibilities are endless at Doane University. Rooted in liberal arts, you can choose from undergraduate and graduate programs, all delivering real-world experience. At Doane University, we take a personal approach to education, giving you the guidance you need to own your future. It's not just our long history of innovative learning, it's the feeling of being surrounded by possibilities that makes us different. Now is your time. Take a big step toward your dream career and apply today at doane.edu/apply.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Now back to the 2025 State Basketball Tournament live from Pinnacle Bank Arena on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Alrighty, it started the second quarter here at Pinnacle Bank Arena. It's 14-8 Norris out in front of Omaha Skutt. Nick Sainert, Eric Strickland alongside. Skutt Catholic will have the basketball to start. The one matchup here would be Brock Scholl right on Alex Small like this. As Zeeble, now right side, Dylan Van Dyke. They run Scholl away, and now there's going to be a foul called. Brock Scholl smiling, saying, "It's about time you call something on me because they've been holding me all day."
If I'm Norris, I'm not guarding Scholl way out there.
Yeah,
just for that reason.
Well, he can shoot the three though. Well, so that's there's a little concern, but not way out here. Yes, you're absolutely right. There's no reason to.
Exactly, that's a setup for post action, which just happened there where they got the foul.
Yeah. Here, the inbound to Van Dyke. Van Dyke with the basketball. Great hedge by Chris Gardner Jr. Great rotation defensively by Norris. Scholl tries to hit the turnaround jumper. Won't go. Zeeble offensive board. Dylan Van Dyke for three. Missed it badly. Zeeble puts it back up and in.
That's where the domination is.
Yeah.
They're going to have to continue to take advantage of that.
14-10 is your score. Norris out in front by 4. Here, top of the key, McCoy Folkerts to Evan Greenfield. 7:22 to go in the second quarter. Norris 14-10 over Skutt so far. Norris is the number 1 seed. Skutt the 4 seed. McCoy Folkerts top of the key. Barons with it as he has 2 points on 1 of 3 from the field. Greenfield with it now has 2 points as well. His shot's blocked out of bounds.
Great D there to lead, to take the lead of the arm on the finish in order to block that without fouling.
So baseline inbound coming up here for the Norris Titans. McCoy Folkerts will be the inbounder as he holds it above his head, throws it up top. Greenfield almost had it ripped away by Eddie Linderman. Now Greenfield on the left side. Folkerts to Barons. He fires the 3 on the way, and Jarrett Barons is able to connect.
That's what they're going to have to do, continue to move that ball, penetrate deep, allow those big men to crash in and find somebody on the perimeter.
17-10 is your score. Brock Scholl, he'll try to answer with a 3 of his own. He can't. Van Dyke tips the rebound, and Greenfield comes away with it for Norris. Now his pass up the floor, taken away, but Greenfield gets it right back. Behind the back, feed, and a layup is in for Chris Gardner Jr.
Go! Great dime there. Take it across the lane. Find Gardner on the backside for the easy lane.
So Kyle Cannon has the basketball now for Omaha Skutt Catholic. On the right side, Cannon with it, working on Bozinger, gives it to Linderman. Now Van Dyke. Van Dyke trying to get it down to Zeeble. They finally do as he works on Barons. Barons keeping his ground in the lane, and we have a foul called on. They're going to call this one on, I believe, Jarrett Barons.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Good move there. You allowed him to get deep catch there. That's a tough spot for Norris to be able to guard. I would have ran somebody at him once he made that dribble to the baseline, run somebody on that backside so he turns into you, and then he's got to make a play. You got to force those big guys to make a pass out of the post. They're so used to being able to turn with comfort and a surety that really no one's going to be there to stop them. You got to take that away.
19-11 your score. Zeeble with one more free throw. Both of these big guys can shoot from the free throw line too as Zeeble hits it. 19-12 is your new score. Norris out in front by 7. 6:07 to go in the second quarter. Pass right side to Evan Greenfield for the Norris Titans. On the right side here, right wing Barron's top of the key.
That's
working Gardner off the bounce. Not able to get the layup to go. Kyle Cannon and Skutt Catholic has numbers. They have numbers and they push the pace in the lane. The layup is good, and Kyle Cannon is going to go to the line to shoot one more.
Height. Kyle Cannon, great drive with the finish. Laid it up nice and soft on the glass.
19-14 is your score. 5 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the second quarter.
Gardner just got a little bit excited down there. He didn't really have to do that. Dove a little bit too extra. Could have went up, elevated, and finished that one.
Yeah. Cannon with one free throw here to try to convert the three-point play, and he is unable to hit it. Gardner now with the defensive rebound for the Norris Titans. 19-14 Titans, 5:43 to play in the second quarter. Near the logo, it's Greenfield. Greenfield with it, passes left side to McCoy Folkerts, now to Barron's. Barron's on the left wing, down low, as that pass unable to be held on to by Evan Greenfield, and it's going to be a turnover back to Skutt Catholic.
That was kind of like in football where you kind of turn your head after you're trying to catch a screen pass or some form of a catch.
Yeah.
You kind of turn, you get excited, you're right there at the basket, and took your eyes off the ball.
Let's take a break. 5:35 to go in the second quarter. It's a full timeout by Omaha Skutt Catholic. They trail it 19-14 to Norris here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes! Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Now back to the action at Pinnacle Bank Arena for the 2025 State Basketball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nick Standard, Eric Strickland back with you from Pinnacle Bank Arena. 5:35 to go in the second quarter. It's 19-14. Norris out in front by 5. Skutt Catholic will have the basketball. A packed Pinnacle Bank Arena. My goodness, Stricky. This is semifinal Friday. What about tomorrow?
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. This is a great crowd. Great show out. Even with the storm outside that was trying to brew.
Yeah, left side, Dylan Van Dyke. Down low on the block, it's Eddie Linderman working on the smaller defender. He turns off the glass. Good job by Eddie Linderman. Working on McCoy Folkerts as Folkerts will bring it across the timeline. Here on the right side. Here and now near the logo, Folkerts to Barron's. Barron's with the basketball. Now with
They're
it
get
is
some action with Greenfield because he's their best penetrator.
Here's three ball by Barron's. It will not go. Rebound tipped out of bounds to Skutt Catholic. This is where Skutt Catholic can then make a run, right? It's the punch this way, punch back that way. How can each team absorb the punches? Norris absorbed the run that Skutt went on, Skutt absorbed the run that Norris went on, and now Skutt's going on a 6-0 run of their own.
Now it's about execution. It's about getting those guys that are the ones that have advantage, whether it be on the post or in the perimeter. They're going to execute their offense and run it well right now.
All right, here on the near corner, Brock Scholl driving baseline on Gardner. Great job closing off the baseline. 3-ball, Eddie Linderman. And when you're Norris, you have to pick your poison.
Pick your poison. Very much so. And if they get hot from the perimeter, it's going to be a long night for Norris.
Here on the left side, Chris Gardner Jr. with the basketball. We are tied at 19. Skutt Catholic on a 9-0 run while Norris hasn't scored in 2 minutes. Gardner in the lane trying to change that. That should have been goaltending because they bumped the rim, but the basket's good anyway. Here's Kyle Cannon as they cross the timeline. Skutt Catholic trails by 2. The intensity starting to pick up. Bornschlegel pokes it away. It's out of bounds, and it will be Norris Titans basketball.
You see what I was saying on that? As they're driving or they're posting, you want to send somebody not early but late, just to kind of throw the timing off a little bit on the move or the counter that they're trying to make. And it's caused them to get some turnovers tonight.
Yeah. 21-19 is your score. 4 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the second quarter. 21-19 Norris. They inbound it to McCoy Folkerts. Folkerts with the basketball. 4:06 remaining in the first half. Here's McCoy Folkerts. He hands it off to Rice. Now top of the key, Gardner. Gardner Jr. passes Bornschlegel. He'll fire that three every day of the week. He'll miss it, though. Now Cannon out and running. Kyle Cannon pushing the pace in the left side of the lane. Off the glass, and it sat on that front rim and dropped in to tie this game at 21.
Cannon very crafty off of the lane.
And real smart. He knows when to push it, knows when to settle down as the jumper by Gardner Jr. goes. It's 23-21.
Yeah, if he gets that going, and I'd get him some opportunities, not only cutting to the basket, but also squaring him up, maybe from the elbow, to make those big men move a little bit.
23-21 is your score. The pass right side. Here we go with Lucas Heller. Heller with the basketball. Now left side with it is Eddie Linderman. Linderman guarded by McCoy Folkerts for Norris. Linderman gives it to Zeeble. Zeeble with the basketball, holding it above his head as Kyle Cannon fires the three from the top of the key, off back iron. It sat for a little bit, and Gardner finally able to clear the glass for Norris as we are inside 3 minutes. Passing it up the floor. Greenfield has his pass intercepted again. That's the second time today that he's had his pass intercepted.
You can't throw it the level.
Yeah.
All hands are designed to go out. You throw it level, you got to either put arc on it or you got to bounce it. You never can throw it through the defense.
Here on the right side, it's Cannon. Now Eddie Linderman. Shot fake draws McCoy Folkerts on the drive. He can't hit the layup, and it's rebounded by Folkerts and a foul by Eddie Linderman.
Okay, Folkerts, I see you. Go up and snag a rebound for your team. I love it.
McCoy Folkerts hit that, and this is the shot that was lost yesterday. McCoy Folkerts, Norris was down 49-46 with 10 seconds to go. He hit one just in front of the logo, and he swished it. And then that tied the game at 49 with 3.2 seconds to go. Everybody's talking about the Barrett Bosinger shot, but the only reason it was set up for that was to win the game on that shot was because McCoy Folkerts hit that one from the logo.
Let's add something to what set that up, too, and that's free throws.
Yeah, 100%, 5 for 15 on by the Thunderbolts yesterday. Cooper Rice with the basketball. He has it left side. Rice out to, this is Urbanovsky. Urbanovsky and Scholl going back and forth. Now here in the right side, it's Hansmeyer down low. Layup in the lane, no good by Urbanovsky. And we now have a foul on Urbanovsky. Going the other way.
Well, see, you didn't even have to do that. If you would have just went straight up and not hesitated, you wouldn't have gotten challenged on that shot. You had the lane. Now, there was something that some players did yesterday. Just wait a little bit. He's behind you. Put a body on him. Get you an and one.
Once again, watch this matchup down here with Scholl and Urbanovsky. They've been going back and forth as they're going to get tangled up and everything here as well. As Dylan Van Dyke passes left side, 2:02 to go. Brock Scholl trying to get position down low. Heller in the lane. He's stuck. He goes in there, and that's a traveling violation on Lucas Heller. It was either going to be a travel or 3 seconds in the lane. He was just camped out there for far too long.
Yeah, got kind of stuck. No man's land, nowhere to go, and ended up with another turnover for Skutt.
Here on the left side, it's Norris Titans basketball. Joshua Bornschlegel with the basketball. He'll bring it up across the timeline.
We didn't see Hansmeyer very much yesterday, but now with this size differential, they're throwing him out there, getting their guys a little break too.
Yeah, here's Cooper Rice on the left side. He gives it to McCoy Folkerts as he gets met now, and his pocket's picked, and a foul is called on the reach-in by Omaha Skutt Catholic. That'll be number 3 on Skutt this quarter.
Well, that's going to happen a lot. If you're able to split the defense, if they throw hands in there, it's usually going to be some form of a foul, unless you're Kyrie Irving and you can throw that thing through there and split it all at once.
23-21 is your score. 1:37 to go in the second quarter. Norris leads. They also have the basketball. Down low in the lane, Urbanovsky, his pass too lazy. It got taken away by Dylan Van Dyke. Van Dyke up the floor, Linderman. Linderman turns around to Van Dyke. Van Dyke now top of the key, Cannon, he will deny the three-point opportunity. Working down low is Scholl. Scholl gets bumped time and time again. Still puts it up. No whistle. Urbanovsky with a defensive rebound. Skutt fans behind us are furious
They're not going to bail you out in that situation. If you're going to try to dive into a double team, they're not going to bail you out.
1:09 to play, second quarter on the right side. Bornschlegel now to Cooper Rice at the logo. 1:03 to play, second quarter. Norris leads by 2, 23-21. On the left side, it's Jackson Urbanovsky. He's working on Scholl. Fakes right, goes left. Now fakes left, now goes right. Passes out to the right wing to McCoy Folkerts. 10 on the possession. McCoy Folkerts in the lane. Urbanovsky for 3, and he's unable to hit it. Zeeble with the defensive rebound, but now we're going to have a jump ball as it was ripped away. And guess what? Norris retains possession.
Yeah, see, now you're seeing that not really getting scoring. This is an offensive move right here with 43 seconds. Got their guys some rest. 43 seconds, you'll get another one at the quarter. So now they're going offense right here to try to make sure that they get a good bucket and a good offensive shot.
Both teams are on a scoring drought of over 2 minutes and 45 seconds. We've been stuck on 23-21 for quite a while. Here is the baseline inbound. Gardner looking to get it in. He gets into Bozinger, and a foul is called.
It's a great call there. That's a great call.
Not sure why you foul.
Yeah.
Why are you being so aggressive to where you're going to pick up a cheap foul there?
Yeah. I know it's kind of like one of those things where that ball's just kind of floating.
I'm sure
out
it's
there.
a heat of the moment thing. Like, I can go
pass
get this, no
interference in
problem.
Football, right? You think it's just kind of floating there. You're just looking at it, and you end up with a foul.
Inbound pass into McCoy Folkerts for the Norris Titans as they cross the timeline. McCoy Folkerts with it, hands it off to Chris Gardner. Gardner with 33 seconds to go in the second quarter. Bozinger now in the lane as it's going to be a traveling violation.
See, in that situation, when you know you've got Twin Towers down there, you should not be trying to attack at the rim or off the glass. You should be trying to check with floater or with mid-range shot right there before you get to the defense.
Yeah, so I was surprised to see a traveling violation there, though. I thought they were going to get Zeeble for the defensive foul.
Yeah.
It's going to be Omaha Skutt basketball. Norris has 3 turnovers in the last 3 minutes. 30 seconds to go. The shot clock is dark. Here's Dylan Van Dyke. He'll bring it across the timeline.
Don't get a foul here.
As Scholl now has it. They're guarding Scholl all the way out near the logo. They're guarding everybody out near the logo.
Yeah.
On the right side is Dylan Van Dyke to Scholl. They want Scholl to have it, maybe not. As Cannon has it left side, it's Linderman. 7 on the game clock to Cannon. Cannon down the right side of the lane, tries to split through the defender, and a blocking foul is called, and Jimmy Motes is furious on that Norris sideline.
Yeah, I mean, it was a flare screen setup. On a flare screen in that situation, it's cleared out on the right-hand side. You want to make sure that you don't close to the man. You want to close with an understanding that there's a driving lane, and that's what you're going to do if you're offense. You're trying to attack the lane. You're not really trying to settle for a perimeter shot there.
First free throw for Kyle Cannon is no good. Skutt Catholic is 4 for 6 on free throws now, while Norris has only attempted 1 free throw all half.
Do we have an opportunity for another late game magic?
I don't know. Norris will have the basketball, barring an offensive rebound, which we saw that a couple of times that Norris allowed as well yesterday. Cannon's second free throw is good. 23-22 is your score. Barons inbounds it to Gardner. Gardner with 1 second on the clock. Half court. Bang! No, it's not good. You can't say that, Stricky. People can't see it. They don't know. And at the half, your score, Norris 23, Omaha Skutt 22. Let's step aside, come back in a few minutes here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solution. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier power sports dealership. Stocking all the top brands, including Can-Am, Honda, Polaris, Kawasaki, CF Moto, Suzuki, Yamaha, Sea-Doo, Manitow pontoon boats, and Triton trailers. Come check out Nebraska's newest Indian motorcycle dealership, plus score big on their massive selection of side-by-sides, all-terrain vehicles, motorcycles, and power watercraft. Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has it all under one roof at their new 27th and I-80 location, and they can't wait to get you set up for the summer.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
High school basketball fans, take a trip over to the Nebraska High School Sports Hall of Fame while you're in town for state hoops. Admission is free, and it's a great way to learn about some of the greatest athletes and teams to come out of the state, from recently to over 100 years ago in all sports. Learn more about names like Gale Sayers, Johnny Rogers, Bob Gibson, Tom Osborne, and more. Open Wednesday through Friday from 1 to 4 p.m. It's the Nebraska High School Sports Hall of Fame, just north of Haymarket Park at 500 Charleston Street.
It may not feel like it, but planting season is on its way, and now's the time to upgrade your equipment with a late model John Deere planter from Acres Equipment. Acres has an entire lineup of John Deere planters equipped with the latest technology to ensure planting accuracy throughout your field. And to get you up and going, each planter purchased from Acres includes in-field startup support from one of our Precision Ag professionals. Warmer weather is coming soon, so don't delay. Visit your local Acres for details. Offer expires April 30th, 2025.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call today at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
It's the two-fingered wave on a gravel road. It's letting the kids take dad's truck to prom. It's Friday nights under the lights of a hometown football field. Eustace Body Shop knows small towns. It's where our values are rooted. We treat our people right, and in turn, they treat you, our customer, right. And we give back to our communities. Not much more small town than that. Eustace Body Shop, small town service, big city technology.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
When you or a loved one hears the words, "You have cancer," you want to make sure you're surrounded by a team you can trust, who will be a true partner in your cancer journey. At NHO, you'll be treated like family, and you'll feel that compassion every time you walk through our doors. After all, this is the fight of your life, and you'll need the best people to be on your side. We're Nebraska Hematology Oncology. On your side, by your side.
Lincoln Federal Savings Bank, personal banking like you remember.
Hi, this is Chris Elgert, loan originator at Lincoln Federal. I know that buying a home is one of the most important decisions a person will make in their lifetime. That's why you need an experienced loan professional to explain all the options available, to answer all your questions, and to make the home buying process a rewarding experience. Talk with me and discover why Lincoln Federal is personal banking like you remember. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription, or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Now back to the 2025 State Basketball Tournament live from Pinnacle Bank Arena on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into Pinnacle Bank Arena at the half. Your score, Norris 23, Skutt Catholic 22. As Nick Sanerges, Eric Strickland, Jackson Kleinschmidt back in the 93.7 The Ticket studios. As Omaha Skutt trails by 1 over number 1 seed Norris. Stricky, what have you liked about the first half let's start with the team on top, the Norris Titans?
Well, Norris got off to a really good start. They shot really well. They were very aggressive defensively. attacked with a little secondary breaks, as well as taking those turnovers and turning them into points. Got off to a really good start. It seemed like the intensity slowed down a little bit. You've got to think about that. The adrenaline's running high. You're the number one team. You're coming off of a big high of a win last night. So therefore, they just kind of got rolling, but then Omaha Skutt settled in.
Yeah.
They settled in and got things going, especially on the interior.
That's the thing with Skutt, right? When you look at the way that now that we've seen this game kind of play out a little bit, we know the bodies that are going to be playing some integral parts down the stretch, especially in this game, because we talked about it yesterday, right? You have your guys that you've leaned on all season long, but then you have the guys that you're going to lean on game to game as the game progresses. Yep. Who do you like for Skutt? Is it as simple as going to Brock Scholl, just keep on going down and down to Brock Scholl, George Zeeble in the post, in the paint, and eventually it's going to start working?
Well, to me, when you have a big fella like those two, and Zeeble and Scholl, those two is kind of like a long-term boxing match, right?
Yeah.
You're going to be in early. They're going to be throwing haymakers, but you're just going to keep wearing them down, hitting them with good body blows, wear them out on the inside, dominate them on the offensive glass, finish off, get to the free throw line, and they shoot the free throws very well.
Yeah.
So that's where they want to continue to just hit them with body blows, slow them down, wear them out, and then ultimately at the end you want to finish them off.
Norris fortunate to be up because they had a scoring drought in the last 3 minutes and 34 seconds of that second quarter. They had 3 turnovers in that span as well. But good job by Norris defensively. They didn't allow any field goals from Skutt Catholic in the last 2.5 minutes.
Well, they were definitely scrappy. They want to get back into the turnover game. Not them turning the ball over, but turning over Skutt.
Yeah.
And using their legs to get out. Now, they had good fast break opportunities, but Greenfield on a couple occasions had guys running and leaking out. You can't throw the ball through the defense, cost them a turnover back, which could have gave them an opportunity to expand the lead.
Exactly. Your score at the half, once again, Norris 23, Omaha Skutt 22. We'll see, can Skutt Catholic get to another state championship game? They've been to the state championship game in 2020, 2022, 2023, 2024. Can we see if they can get to it in 2025? Or will the Norris Titans get back to a state championship game after being runner-up in 2024? And will they have a chance to win it for the first time since 2003? We'll find out in the second half as it unfolds. We'll be back in 3 minutes here with the start of the third quarter here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Hey, bestie. Whoa, how'd you snag that awesome set of wheels? I'm in the market for a new car, too. My friends at Members Own Credit Union. You're always in the driver's seat when it comes to your finances at Members Own. Always in the driver's seat, huh? Yep. They set you up with a loan that makes sense for your budget with great rates and top-notch customer service to boot. Looks like we're going to need to make a pit stop. Let's go. I'll drive. Hit the road to financial success and explore auto loan options with your best financial friend, Members Own Credit Union. For details, go to membersowncu.org/drive. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Attention Nebraska sports fans, are you ready to take your skills to the next level? The Army National Guard is looking for leaders who are dedicated, driven, and ready to make a difference. Join us and gain invaluable experience while serving your country with a flexible schedule, competitive benefits, and a chance to build a strong future. Learn more at nationalguard.com/Nebraska. Live here, serve here. The Nebraska Army National Guard, guard the good life.
Hello? Believe it or not, old phones are one of the most common pain points in offices today. Many of these phones are beyond repair because parts aren't available to fix outdated devices. Whether it's a traditional phone system or cloud-based VoIP technology, Hamilton Business Phones can help upgrade your connection. We make it easy to sync your office phone with your cell for seamless call handling, no matter where you work. If your current office phone can't do this, you deserve better. Hire your local experts. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
You know you want those Wingstop boneless wings. With the boneless meal deal from Wingstop, you get 20 boneless wings in 4 delicious flavors and a large order of hand-cut fries for just $16.99. What are you waiting for? More wings, more flavor, more bang for your buck. The $16.99 boneless meal deal from Wingstop. Order now from wingstop.com. Valid at participating locations for a limited time on orders for pickup or delivery placed via wingstop.com or the Wingstop app. Prices may vary by location. See wingstop.com/offers for full details.
Your possibilities are endless at Doane University. Rooted in liberal arts, you can choose from undergraduate and graduate programs. all delivering real-world experience. At Doane University, we take a personal approach to education, giving you the guidance you need to own your future. It's not just our long history of innovative learning, it's the feeling of being surrounded by possibilities that makes us different. Now is your time. Take a big step toward your dream career and apply today at doane.edu/apply.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Now back to the 2025 State Basketball Tournament live from Pinnacle Bank Arena on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes! Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Now back to the action at Pinnacle Bank Arena for the 2025 State Basketball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into Pinnacle Bank Arena. It's time to start the second half as Skutt Catholic gets the basketball to start. They're driving to the hoop immediately. Cannon can't connect. Zeeble gets the offensive rebound. He puts it up. It's blocked. A third time is the charm for Skutt's offense as Zeeble gets it up and in.
That's where the game's going to be won right there. It's going to be won in the trenches, deep in the paint. Paint touches are going to be the way Skutt's going to get this done.
Here on the right side, it's Greenfield. Now with it is Gardner to Behrens, far corner. Now Small with the basketball at the top of the key. He gives it to Gardner. He'll fire the three on the left side and splash it in the face of Brock Scholl.
That's going to open some things up for him because he's usually a penetrator.
Yeah.
So that's big. That's big for Gardner to be able to knock that down.
Here is Eddie Linderman. Skutt Catholic down by 2. They have the basketball on the near side. Now far side, it's Dylan Van Dyke. Van Dyke with it to Eddie Linderman. Linderman now to Cannon. Cannon with that as Kyle Cannon throws it to Linderman. Down low, Scholl working on Behrens. He is bumped and fouled. No shot. But Brock Scholl, once again, just 4 points and just 1 rebound.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. A lot of the stuff, now listen, they're going to make him a focal point for the second half. So a lot of that action when he's outside.
You're talking Skutt will. Offensively,
Skutt, yes. Yes. Scott's going to make him a focal point, and a lot of that action is going to start from outside in on different cuts.
Zeeble working on Behrens in the lane. The layup will not go. Zeeble gets his own miss. The putback, it does not fall as that rebound tipped around and controlled by Alex Small. Going down the floor. Here's Small in the lane. The layup too strong. Rebounded by Scholl.
You have to finish that.
Now Cannon pushing the pace. Cannon pass fake into Behrens. The layup. It's good with the foul as Behrens is called for a block.
Yeah, that's a missed opportunity for Norris there. You got to go and finish that with the same. Yeah. Cannon attacked the body. Same thing you got to have.
I was going to say, and it would have allowed Norris to get back on defense to where Skutt, who's one of the best transition offensive teams in the in the state, really, they went and showed it there because they have an experienced guy running the show in Kyle Cannon. His free throw is good. Skutt has a 1-point lead, 27-26. 6 minutes, 21 seconds to go in the third quarter. The Norris Titans with the basketball. They give it to Greenfield. Greenfield has it at the logo. He crosses over. Greenfield with it in the fingernail. Stops at the elbow, turns around, spins. Looking for help, finds Gardner. Gardner fires the three on the way. And how about another one for Chris Gardner Jr.?
That's going to force Scholl to have to get out to him
Yeah.
if he's knocking that down. And that's going to allow him to be able to use his athleticism to create penetration.
Well, that, and it'll just open up everything else, because when you take one of those 6'9" bodies out of the lane, it's going to open up a lot of things for other guys as well. Here in the lane, Kyle Cannon, his shot's blocked by Small. Norris with another rebound and another stop defensively. Alex Small crosses the timeline. He calls for it. Great fake. Small drives to the lane, and that's it. Now a turnover on the inbounds pass as Small looked up and noticed that the ball was within arm's reach, and he tipped it. Here on the right side, it's Bozinger. Bozinger with the basketball in the lane to Bornschlegel. Now Gardner says, let's just take a moment with
smart.
Norris up by 4. Bozinger with the basketball, top of the key. He fires the three on the way, missed it off to the left. Barrett Bozinger unable to find his shot here today. He's still scoreless.
Yeah, you could have got a better one than that. A little fadeaway off the three. Listen, I love what because Gretna East wasn't even guarding Gardner last night. So this is big for him.
On the left side, here it is. Cannon, far corner. And Linderman down low. Scholl. Scholl gets doubled. Small tries to flop. Great use of the not calling it. As I would have said that Brock Scholl could have gotten teed up though, because he stepped
right
over Small. Now on the right side, Bornschlegel. I have a feeling this one's going to get a little chippy as we go, as Bornschlegel gets the layup to go with the foul.
That's what you got to do with those big fellas. If you're going to run a 5-out style offense, get them out on the wing, let the offensive emotion occupy the weak side defense, and then take them off the dribble. I love it. Great drive there from Bornschlegel, and the finish for the end one.
33-29 is your score. Norris with one free throw coming up short, rebounded by Zeeble. Here comes Dylan Van Dyke. Van Dyke brings it across the timeline. They'll have it now. With it is Kyle Cannon. Cannon with the basketball. Passes back to Van Dyke. Van Dyke with it. 4:15 to play third quarter. Now Scholl. Left side Cannon. Cannon with it. Working on Small. Down low Scholl. Working on Fulkerts. This is a big mismatch. The foul. And Scholl is finally able to get a call. And he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Again, you can't allow him to just be able to back you down. He's too big. He's too strong. And he's crafty with the ball down low. You've got to send guys at him. Force them to shoot threes. They haven't really even done that tonight. They haven't made many threes.
And he is able to hit the first one. 33-30 is your score. 4:05 to go in the third quarter. Second one, and it rattles home. 33-31 is your score. 4:05 to go in the third quarter. Here's Small working in the center of the lane. He stops, finds Gardner trailing. Gardner traveled with it. That's a turnover.
Again, that's the inside presence of both of the bigs down there for Skutt that just causes you to hesitate just a little bit, which causes a turnover.
Yeah. So Skutt Catholic with the basketball down by 2. 3 minutes, 48 seconds to go in the third. Here's Cannon. Cannon to Van Dyke. Van Dyke to Zeeble. They try to run it backwards. Cannon, we're tied.
Great execution there from Skutt. Running there. Cannon is hyped.
Got to get a stop. Got to get a stop defensively if you're Skutt Catholic, though, as Small has the basketball. Small in the lane. He's bumped and fouled before the shot. Small talking to Zeeble.
You see what he did?
Yeah, Small is talking to Zeeble as he was able to blow right past him. These two teams, not huge fans of each other, Eric Strickland.
At all. We have a brewing rivalry here.
Oh, yeah. When you get these two teams, Pius included, I think York is involved in that as well, as Greenfield gets the inbound pass. I think those 4 teams in Class B, you're going to have some bad blood between them. As McCoy Folkerts has it left side now, Gardner to Greenfield. Greenfield in the lane. He gets bumped, no whistle by Linderman, letting them play. Gardner now with it, far right corner. Folkerts with it on the perimeter to Gardner. Gardner gets picked up by Scholl. Scholl defending him closely. Gardner in the lane. He turns, gives to Greenfield. Greenfield trying to go over the shoulder. The floater, it bounces in.
Good touch. Between him and Gardner, they need to do that. Gardner had him. He had him on the counter move. Could have rose up and finished the shot, but there's a lot of hesitation when they get in that paint.
Yeah, here on the right side, Dylan Van Dyke. Now Lucas Heller with the basketball. Kyle Cannon down low. Scholl. Scholl gets met by Folkerts. The layup is good. We're tied again.
That's all night. That's there for them all night. They've got to figure that out.
Kyle Juergens is getting frustrated on the sideline that he feels like Norris continues to flop, and that Kyle Juergens' entire staff was over there going with the flop motion, trying to get somebody to call a foul or at least a flop warning.
Yeah, this is going to be a heavy dose, a heavy dose of Brock Scholl.
They inbound the pass. It was deflected. Bornschlegel was going to be wide open. He fooled Dylan Van Dyke on a cut to the rim, and McCoy Folkerts, the inbounder, tried to get it to him, but Cannon was able to get his left mitt on it. It's a baseline inbound again here for the Norris Titans. They get it up top to Greenfield. Greenfield with it, 2:22 to go in the third quarter. Greenfield loses the basketball, and here comes Dylan Van Dyke up the floor to Scholl. Scholl steps through the layup, no good. He gets it back, and Skutt is in front by 2.
Yeah, whatever it is, the talking or the jawing, something has rose Scholl from the dead.
Down low, Greenfield in the lane, and we're tied again at 37. And Jimmy Motes wants a timeout on the floor. 2:02 rather to go in the third quarter. We'll step aside, come back in 40 seconds here on 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
You know you want those Wingstop boneless wings. With the boneless meal deal from Wingstop, you get 20 boneless wings in 4 delicious flavors and a large order of hand-cut fries for just $16.99. What are you waiting for? More wings, more flavor, more bang for your buck. The $16.99 boneless meal deal from Wingstop. Order now from wingstop.com. Valid at participating locations for a limited time on orders for pickup or delivery placed via wingstop.com or the Wingstop app. Prices may vary by location. See wingstop.com/offers for full details.
Now back to the action at Pinnacle Bank Arena for the 2025 State Basketball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into a energized Pinnacle Bank Arena. 2:02 to go in the third quarter. 37-37 is your score between Norris and Omaha Skutt. Stricky, are you experiencing the PBA Wi-Fi dilemma?
I am absolutely struggling here with the PBA Wi-Fi.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. As it is tied 37-37. Here on the right side, Lucas Heller with it. Now Kyle Cannon. Cannon with it for Skutt. Lazy pass taken away by Bornschlegel directly in front of our table here.
They got
and given to Bozinger.
Oh,
they had numbers. Scholl wasn't down on the floor, but a three-pointer will not fall. Rebound tipped in the hands, and Urbanovsky can't get the layup to go, but he's going to go to the line to shoot 2 either way.
Yeah, had a good secondary break opportunity. Who was that? It was
Greenfield.
Running down the middle.
Greenfield or Urbanovsky.
Urbanovsky running down the middle of the lane. Missed him for an opportunity for a layup there.
So 37-37 is your score. 1 minute and 37 seconds to go in the third quarter. Make it 38-37. It's not so many 37s anymore. It is 38-37. Norris out in front by 1. One more free throw coming up for the Titans as Jackson Urbanovsky. There's probably 10,000 people here at Pinnacle Bank Arena today.
It's a great crowd. Would you say that was an omen?
Potentially.
137 omen?
Yeah, right. Something like that. Here, pass up the floor to Van Dyke.
Wow.
As like a quarterback finding his receiver, not able to get the layup to go. And now telegraphing it. Cannon comes out of nowhere and picks it off. Like a defensive back to continue the football references.
Wow.
Now Cannon throws it into nowhere. as he had Scholl on the backside. Scholl unable to hold on to the basketball. Here comes the Norris Titans offense, and we have an offensive foul called on Joshua Bornschlegel. I will say this, it was kind of bizarre because we saw Kyle Cannon. He had the incredible vision, the ability to throw a pass down floor. Then they missed the layup. He stayed back here. I took a peek back at him, and he was like a defensive back roaming the area. He came across the middle, and just like Tommy Hill did against Colorado, picked that pass off and went the other way. Should have been 2 easy points, but instead it was an empty trip. Here is Cannon for Skutt Catholic on the right side. 57 to go in the third quarter. Down to Scholl in the lane. Gets it ripped out of his hands. Scholl with the basketball. And on the near side, working on Urbanovsky in the lane. Put back by Linderman. Will not go. Scholl gets it back. And Brock Scholl finally gets 2 points.
Norris players, you're undersized. Everybody has to get to the paint.
Yeah.
There was 3 guys standing outside of the paint just watching as all of that action occurred inside.
Here's McCoy Folkerts on the left side. 26 seconds to go in the third quarter. It's 39-38. Here, Evan Greenfield with the basketball right in front of us. Linderman starts the 5-second count. Here's Linderman. Oh, they're going to create enough space there. Now at Greenfield with it on the left side, Urbanovsky to Folkerts. 4 on the possession. Folkerts right side of the lane. The floater off back iron. Rebound tipped out. Heller collects it up the floor to Cannon. 4 on the game clock. Plenty of time. And Cannon's now fouled by Evan Greenfield.
Going to the line.
And because of that, they are going to take Cannon and put him at the free throw line. And with 2.5 seconds on the game clock. Cannon on the day, 12 points, 4 of 6 from the charity stripe. Make it 5 of 7. He made it. It is now 40-38. Skutt Catholic out in front by 2 points. 2.5 seconds to go in the third quarter as well. Kyle Cannon, one more coming for number 3, the senior. He's unable to hit it. It's rebounded by Norris, and now they're going to call a foul. They're going to call a foul on the rebound against Skutt Catholic, and so now Norris is going to the line. My word.
Wow.
1.4. Yeah, 1.4 to go in the third quarter. Barrett Bozinger is at the line to shoot 2 shots. Bozinger.
Well, maybe this will get him going because he struggled a little bit.
Well, you'll remember he was scoreless yesterday as well before he hit the 77-foot shot. Here's Bozinger. He missed the first. The second one is coming in just a moment as he runs through his shot. Now he grabs the basketball from the official, bounces it twice, and fires. It is good. 1.4 to go in the third quarter. We'll see if Skutt can put up a shot. It's Heller. Heller fires the heave, and it is no good. Hit off the backboard. Your score after 3 quarters of play as PBA rises to their feet. Omaha Skutt 40, the Norris Titans 39. We'll step aside, come back in 60 seconds as we begin the final period of play from Pinnacle Bank Arena.
Your possibilities are endless at Doane University. Rooted in liberal arts, you can choose from undergraduate and graduate programs, all delivering real-world experience. At Doane University, we take a personal approach to education, giving you the guidance you need to own your future. It's not just our long history of innovative learning, it's the feeling of being surrounded by possibilities that makes us different. Now is your time. Take a big step toward your dream career and apply today at doane.edu/apply.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Now back to the action at Pinnacle Bank Arena for the 2025 State Basketball Tournament on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's been an incredible day of semifinal action, and it continues here in Class B as Gardner has it for Norris. He drives in center of the lane, the floater, no good. put up, and Small is fouled by Zeeble. And so when you have Alex Small at the line now, Norris 2 shots. They trail by 1, just underway here in the fourth quarter of action. And the first one is no good. (40-39) is your score after Small misses the first free throw.
That's what they can't have throughout this game.
Yeah.
You've got to
And
make your free
speaking
throws.
of that, they missed both of them. Small goes 0 for up the floor to Eddie Linderman in the lane. He steps through the floater. No good. Missed it. Bad shot by Linderman, but he pokes it away from behind. Norris is able to haul it in. Here comes Alex Small across the timeline. Small with it. Now with it. Top of the key, Gardner. Gardner left side, Greenfield. Greenfield with the basketball, guarded by Eddie Linderman. He dribbles to the top of the key. Still guarded by Linderman, passes it to Small. Small now to Gardner. Gardner with the basketball, guarded by Scholl. Now back to Small. Small with 10 on the possession. Greenfield. They're not worried about Small shooting. They're worried about the other 4 players. Gardner can't hit the 3. Rebound tipped out, controlled by Greenfield in the lane. The layup no good. The putback is good by Gardner. And we have Kyle Cannon, who might be cramping up. He's going to be cramping up on this near sideline.
Oh, man. We've seen a lot of that yesterday.
Kyle Cannon cramping up as he's getting stretched out by Eddie Linderman. You got to think that the trainers will come out here at some point. You can't just, they're just letting Eddie Linderman stretch Kyle Cannon out. There you go. Let's get the professionals in there. I'm all for a teammate thing, but let's get the trainers out there. Yeah, go ahead and grab it. There we go. All right, now we got professionals on the scene. Oh, it worked out. Nice job. Well, maybe. All right, so he's cramping in the left calf.
Well, they had a banana on the sideline.
For Scotts Bluff.
Was it
Scotts Bluff? Yeah, who we will see
next
in the next game. Scotts Bluff. They got the best of Gretna East yesterday. They will play Elkhorn North in the nightcap around 7:45 p.m. All right, 41-40 is your score. 6:57 to go in the fourth quarter. Skutt Catholic will have the basketball, and Eddie Linderman gets it into Lucas Heller.
Listen, that could be a big loss for him. He's not only great defensively, but he's been good on the attack as far as the offense as well.
Yeah, on the left side, Dylan Van Dyke now top of the key, left side, Linderman. Linderman with the basketball. He crosses over, may have created some space from Gardner, now to Heller. Heller on the right side, Van Dyke. Van Dyke with it. Kyle Cannon not being in is a big deal for Skutt. Heller for 3, unable to convert. Zeeble uses his 6'9" height. The putback is good, and Skutt has the lead right back at 42-41.
That's where the game's going to be won. You hate that you play a good defensive segment of 35 seconds and then don't secure the rebound.
It's brutal. Top of the key, Norris with the basketball in the lane. Gardner stops. His shot's blocked. He puts it back up. No good. Scholl collects the defensive rebound. Here comes Skutt. Weaving his way through traffic is Dylan Van Dyke. He slows it down, backs it out to the perimeter. Wanted to get it down to Scholl. Unable to do so. Now they do. Scholl in the lane. He's out of control. And it's going to be a foul called on Chris Gardner.
That could have been close to a travel there. It looked like he made a...
I was surprised it wasn't an intentional foul because it was clear as Scholl was going, he was grabbing around the waist like you were trying to tackle Brock Scholl on the football field, but just a common foul is the call. I think that's what Kyle Juergens is probably asking about. Baseline inbound, they inbound it to Scholl. Scholl has such a significant height advantage on Alex Small. He's going right at him, and they're going to say he had a carry.
Ooh.
Oh, my goodness. Some of the calls that officiating crews have made today just seem so unnecessary. They seem so unnecessary. 5:51 to go in the fourth quarter.
Little shaky on that call right there.
42-41 is your score. Here's Greenfield crossing over. Top of the key. Left side of the lane. Now Bozinger drives in, a shot fake, gets it stripped and fouled by Omaha Skutt, and Bozinger is going to go to the line to shoot 2 shots. Now Bozinger is 1 for 2 from the free throw line. Norris trails by 1 at 42-41 with 5:35 to play.
What do you want to see here out of Norris?
Probably 2 for 2 from the line.
At least that.
I mean, that's the start, right? I think that's a good place to start. Here is.
Do you double team at this point, Nick? If you're Norris, they're going inside. They're going high, low, or inside.
No, because they've made enough mistakes though, where it hasn't killed you.
Yeah.
You have to worry. Norris doesn't have, or excuse me, Skutt Catholic doesn't have an Alex Small on their team where they're not worried about who them shooting.
Yeah.
All 5 guys on Skutt's sideline can shoot the basketball from anywhere on the floor, and that's what makes them dangerous.
Oh.
Eddie Linderman, as Bornschlegel goes for the steal, Linderman in the lane, throws it out right side. It's tipped away by Bozinger, and it's going to go out of bounds. Last touch by Skutt Catholic is now Eddie Linderman is starting to cramp it up. Look at it, and Norris is booing.
This ain't football. They got a new rule change there now. Would that be a penalty in basketball?
Absolutely not. And so 5:16 to go in the fourth quarter. And let's step aside. Let's take a 30-second break, and we'll come right back here on 93.7 The Ticket.
When you or a loved one hears the words, "You have cancer," you want to make sure you're surrounded by a team you can trust, who will be a true partner in your cancer journey. At NHO, you'll be treated like family, and you'll feel that compassion every time you walk through our doors. After all, this is the fight of your life, and you'll need the best people to be on your side. We're Nebraska Hematology Oncology. On your side, by your side.
Now back to the 2025 State Basketball Tournament live from Pinnacle Bank Arena on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Cannon comes back into the game, Nick.
That's
right. You got to watch and see if it's going to hinder him any as far as his ability to defend as well as attack offensively.
Skutt Catholic with the basketball. Dylan Van Dyke for 3. Dylan Van Dyke puts Skutt up by 2. 45-43, 4:52 to go in the fourth quarter. Norris has the basketball, trailing by 2 with 4:45 to go in the ball game. The winner to state championship final action tomorrow. Bozinger for 3, no good. And we have a foul called against Omaha Skutt, and Jimmy Motes is furious, yelling at the umpire, or excuse me, rather the referee.
That's great patience there out of the referee to kind of hold up a little bit there.
And so that's a foul on the Norris Titans. And Skutt Catholic has the basketball, leading 45-43. Across the timeline, it goes Heller to Dylan Van Dyke. Van Dyke with the basketball, now right side with it is Heller. Heller looking around, used up his dribble, gives to Van Dyke. Van Dyke dribbling into the center of the lane, working on Greenfield, spinning around, looks to Scholl. Scholl over the shoulder, can't get it to go. Another offensive rebound, the putback, it's good by Luke Lenz.
Yeah, Skutt's just enforcing their will right now.
Here we go. Skutt behind us on their feet. Gardner on the left side, driving baseline, a bump and a foul is called on Brock Scholl.
That's what they're going to have to do against the bigs. Right now, they're just enforcing their will on the other side, but you got to do the same on this side. You got to attack those bigs. Now, one thing I noticed also, Nick, is Norris is not putting bodies on individuals when they go in away from the ball.
Yeah.
They're not setting screens except on that situation right
as
there.
Greenfield is going to be fouled. Greenfield will go to the line to shoot 2 shots. Sorry to cut you off there,
No, I
Stricky.
hear you. Big good
As
play.
Greenfield will go to the line to shoot 2 free throws with 3:52 to go in the fourth quarter. It's 47-43.
Norris is only shooting 40% from. Listen,
Yeah.
they went to the free throw line 8. Look at this. They're down 4.
Yeah.
They've been to the free throw line 10 times,
Yeah.
and they're only shooting
11
they're
now.
under 40%.
Yeah, they're shooting 45%. There are 4, or excuse me, that's incorrect. They did not make that free throw. Greenfield, they have to change that on our stat sheet here.
Under 40%.
They're shooting under 40%, 4 for 11, now 5 for 12. Greenfield is up to 7 points on the day. As it is 47-44. They still need to change it on our score sheet thing. As 3 minutes, 42 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Cannon in the lane. The left-handed layup won't go. Zeeble with the rebound. Zeeble gets it knocked out of his hands. Van Dyke gets it back down low. Scholl off the glass and in.
Second chance points. That's the name of this game.
Yeah.
They're winning every 50-50 ball and second chance points in the paint.
Skutt Catholic has 13 offensive rebounds. They're out rebounding Norris 32-23 in the lane. Bornschlegel can't hit the layup. They get it back. Bodies on the floor. Gardner with it to Bosinger. Corner. Bornschlegel. They need it. Bang!
They needed that. They
Josh
won a 50-50 ball there.
Josh Bornschlegel with his third three-pointer of the day makes it 49-47, 3:05 to go in the fourth quarter. Let's go ahead and step aside as we have a full timeout on the floor.
It's the two-fingered wave on a gravel road. It's letting the kids take dad's truck to prom. It's Friday nights under the lights of a hometown football field. Eustace Body Shop knows small towns. It's where our values are rooted. We treat our people right, and in turn, they treat you, our customer, right. And we give back to our communities. Not much more small town than that. Eustace Body Shop, small town service, big city technology.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Now back to the 2025 State Basketball Tournament live from Pinnacle Bank Arena on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. 3:05 to go in the fourth quarter. 49-47 is your score. Omaha Skutt has the basketball and the lead out of the Norris timeout. We are under 3 minutes to go here in our first of two Class B semifinals. Skutt Catholic. Here is Eddie Linderman to Cannon. Cannon and Linderman have been dealing with cramps. Linderman dealing with them again as he's over there on the far sideline. Cannon, he almost got it poked away. It's going to go in the direction of Skutt Catholic.
You see, he doesn't have the same.
No, doesn't have the twitchiness.
Yeah, he's very quick. It slowed him down.
Here, the inbound to Cannon. Linderman still dealing with cramps, trying to stretch him out on the left wing. Cannon has the basketball for Skutt Catholic. 7 on the possession in the lane, and that's a charge. That's a really good call, and a better charge drawn by Alex Small. Cannon still on the ground. He's slow to get up.
Yeah. He turned the corner real nice there. Just a little bit out of control.
It is 49-47. 2.5 to go in the fourth quarter. They're going to bring Luke Lenz into the game for George Zeeble.
If I'm them, I'm going Greenfield off of some type of action and take advantage of the injury right now as far as the cramping.
But that's also why Alex Small is into the game. Maybe not so much for his offensive ability, but for his effort and his willingness defensively. That could change the game here. Here on the top of the key right side is Greenfield. Gets to the Bornschlegel for the lead. No good. Rebounded by Scholl. Norris goes one and done. Skutt forces a stop. And with 2:15 to go in the fourth quarter, Skutt has the basketball leading by 2. It's 49-47, and we have a Kyle Juergens timeout just to slow everybody down. It's a 30-second timeout. We'll go ahead and keep it right here. Stricky, in the next game, we will have Scotts Bluff and Elkhorn North. What do you like about those two teams? We saw both of them last night. First for Scotts Bluff.
Well, Scotts Bluff is very intense. They get after you defensively. They have some physicality.
Yeah.
I love that about them. And
Nate Kelly was legit.
Right. In the matchup, who they got?
Elkhorn North with Nike Orgeable.
Oh, they got Orgeable. I like Orgeable. I like them. I think size-wise, I think I like their ability with their bigs have great perimeter skills. If they're able to pull out a win, I like that matchup, Elkhorn North against Skutt.
Scotts Bluff is the 2 seed. Scotts Bluff is the 2 seed, while Elkhorn North is the 6 seed. All right, here we go. Skutt with the basketball. Dylan Van Dyke passes up the floor to Scholl. Scholl now to Cannon. Cannon to Linderman. Linderman on the left side. Now dribbles top of the key. Picks up his dribble. And we have an offensive foul on Luke Lenz.
That's a good call there.
Away from the ball, a moving screen.
Yeah, he threw a little chicken wing out, got outside of his the plane of his body, and that's a foul. Good call there. That's actually a good pickup. They need a bucket here, though.
Yeah, so 49-47 is your score. 1:59 to go in the fourth quarter. Norris will be in the bonus from here on out. That's one thing to mention. On the right side, it's Bornschlegel. Now to McCoy Fulkerts to Gardner. Gardner in the lane. Spin move on Scholl. Goes up. Draws contact. No whistle. And Skutt gets the defensive rebound.
See, they have them on the first move.
Yeah.
If he just went up on the first move, he's fine. But he waited.
Linderman to Cannon. Still very well could have been a foul. Here's Cannon near the logo. Working, spinning to Scholl. Scholl, he traveled.
Yeah. He kind of made a little step shuffle before he put it down. There's nothing wrong with that call.
What's bizarre also, something to just note is when they didn't have a foul called on Brock Scholl, Jimmy Motes turned to his bench because he didn't want to get teed up. 1:19 to go in the fourth quarter. It's 49-47. Here's Greenfield for Norris. They trail by 2, and he was able to break the ankles of Dylan Van Dyke.
Hey, yo!
Here comes Scholl pushing the pace, and Scholl loses the basketball. We are tied with less than a minute to go. Norris needs to slow it down. 49-49, they are tied. Here's Greenfield. Mid-range jumper, won't hit it. Offensive rebound. No, it's taken by Skutt. Bosinger had it, and then somehow lost it.
He tried go and grab it. He tried to dribble it. All he has to go and do is retrieve the ball.
Bosinger tried to dribble the offensive rebound. He could have grabbed it and then dribbled it if he wanted to. 43.4 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. It is 49-49. If you are Skutt Catholic, who are you going to?
Scholl.
Brock
For Scholl.
Brock Scholl. 7 of 13 shooting the basketball today. He has 16 points. He has 8 rebounds. I think that's another reason you go to him. In case he misses it, there's a very good chance, because Skutt has 13 offensive rebounds today, there's a very good chance he gets another crack at it.
If everybody from Norris is not in this paint, they don't want to win tonight.
There you go.
Because, one, I would shoot a double team at him. I would take it out of his hands. I would make sure there's somebody that's in front of is Big Fella in?
It'll be Scholl. I don't believe Zeeble is in. No, Zeeble is in.
So with Zeeble in, you have to crash somebody down on him. I'm giving up a 3. If I'm Norris at this point, everything is in the paint. I'm giving up a 3.
Skutt has only shot 6 of them. They're 2 for 6. So Kyle Cannon to inbound. Here we go. A lot of energy. The entire arena is on their feet. 9,000 plus. Here we go. Dylan Van Dyke with the basketball. He'll cross the timeline. Dylan Van Dyke on the right side. Van Dyke with it to Scholl. Scholl with 33 on the game clock. Now to Van Dyke. Van Dyke with it in the lane. He almost got his pocket picked by Greenfield. Now Van Dyke with the basketball. He steps back. 12 on the possession for Kyle Cannon and Skutt Catholic offense. In the lane, Cannon steps back. The jumper, and it's no good. Rebounded by Greenfield, and we have a foul called on Chris Gardner. It's going to be a baseline inbound play for Skutt Catholic with 16.9 to shoot, and it's going to be a foul on Chris Gardner. That is the 3rd team foul for the Norris Titans, and Kyle Juergens wants to talk it over. And listen to Pinnacle Bank Arena.
That's a tough one. He's falling. He's just kind of falling. I don't think it.
So we're going to see this as Chris Gardner undercut George Zeeble. That's, thankfully, Mike Sauter had it on video. Chris, so correct call. That was the correct call, as it was a undercut on Chris Gardner. He went and took out basically the knees of George Zeeble.
It's a tough one.
Tough in this juncture, right? But
That's
the right call by rule.
Well, you got to give him credit, because they did not allow Scholl to get a touch on that last possession.
No, and you know who was defending him? It was Alex Small.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Do we have some more magic in store?
49-49 is your score. Skutt Catholic still in the huddle while Norris has broken it. Skutt Catholic out of timeouts. Norris has 3. So Jimmy Moats, worst case scenario, will be able to burn a timeout if needed.
Everything has to be packed in right now.
It also wouldn't be a bad idea to see Norris foul in a late scenario. Here we go. As Skutt Catholic has the basketball. Dylan Van Dyke with it. To Linderman. To Van Dyke. 12 on the possession. Here in the Class B semis. Van Dyke, he is fouled. That's a good decision by by Greenfield. Good decision. They had one to give.
Give it a
does
shot.
not, it does not put him in the bonus. You're good. Now you have to play defense. Instead of for 16 seconds, you cut it in half for 8.
And no timeout.
8.6 to go in the fourth quarter to Cannon. Cannon with 7.
I'm backing off.
Cannon wants this ball. Cannon, right side in the lane, off the glass, too strong. The tip try, it's in. There's the horn. George Siebel wins it at the buzzer on a tip try. Omaha Skutt Catholic with their 15th offensive rebound of the night, and it sends them to the state championship.
That's it. That's been the game all night. And you said it. Go up, put it up on the glass, and go get it.
Kyle Cannon drove on the right side of the lane. He threw it off the backboard. He threw it off of the iron. And George Siebel was there to tip it. The referees are going to put half of a second on the game clock. But for now, 51-49. So now, Stricky, I will ask the question you just asked. Is there more magic for that Norris team?
Listen, there's not enough time to catch and shoot. I mean, there's time to catch and literally just toss it. There's no time to catch it.
They're going to have to throw it into this area right here by the half-court line.
And literally catch it and fling
fire.
it. They don't have enough time for anything else. At least it's not 0.3. And I think that's good out of the referees.
Yeah.
0.5. I think that's about right. But the clock does not run out.
All right, so it's 51-49. Half of a second for Norris to catch and heave. Bozinger is set up at midcourt. He was the hero yesterday. Does Norris have a little bit of magic left in him to send them to the title? Here's Behrens. He can run the baseline. Behrens looking, and he needs to burn another timeout because nothing was open. We're going to see what Jimmy Moats can call and draw up out of the timeout. Is a full timeout.
In this situation right here, Nick, maybe you run something from out of bounds. You know how you put everybody kind of down here?
Yeah.
And just run something to where you got your fastest. You've got 2 injured guys over there out of Linderman as well as Cannon. I'm putting him down here. If they give me space, that gives me space to get a catch and get a heave. If not, I might get something at the basket, just a long throw, a long toss.
George Siebel just scored his 4th field goal of the day. He now has 10 points, 17 rebounds. Holy smokes, George Siebel have a day. All right, Behrens, the inbounder, half a second for Norris. Here's Behrens looking. He fires it downfield. Greenfield, not a chance. There's not enough time. That's the game. The Skutt Catholic Skyhawks, they win it 51-49 as Kyle Juergens and the Skutt Catholic Skyhawks in a rematch of last year's Class B final. They have a chance to go back to back to back tomorrow evening at 6:15 p.m. Now the question is, who will they play? Will it be the 2-seeded Scottsbluff Bearcats, or will it be the 6-seeded Elkhorn North Wolves? That will be decided in a little over 20 minutes of time. Scottsbluff, Elkhorn North, will have the call. Myself, Eric Strickland, but for now, so long from PBA. Thank you to Jackson Kleinschmidt back in our 93.7 The Ticket Studios. Your final score in the Class B semis: Omaha Skutt 51, number 1 seed Norris 49. The Titans go down here at PBA. We'll step aside, come back around 7:45 p.m. for Scottsbluff and Elkhorn North from Pinnacle Bank Arena on 93.7 The Ticket.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call today at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started. Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solution. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. High school basketball fans, take a trip over to the Nebraska High School Sports Hall of Fame while you're in town for state hoops. Admission is free, and it's a great way to learn about some of the greatest athletes and teams to come out of the state, from recently to over 100 years ago in all sports. Learn more about names like Gale Sayers, Johnny Rogers, Bob Gibson, Tom Osborne, and more. Open Wednesday through Friday from 1 to 4 p.m. It's the Nebraska High School Sports Hall of Fame, just north of Haymarket Park at 500 Charleston Street.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time